You may have felt helpless when facing the challenges in life. You've always been seeking a major change, but somehow it's always out of reach. This isn't because you lack the ability, but because you haven't tapped into the infinite potential that lies within you. So, what if I told you that you have far more power than you've ever imagined? Everything you seek, every transformation you desire is already available to you right now, but it has been hidden by invisible filters in our minds. Is it possible that, by breaking through these barriers, you could grasp this knowledge and even take control of your reality? In this video, let's explore a piece of the secret to existence and get ready to step into a new reality. If this is your first time visiting our channel, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay updated with our latest videos on spiritual topics, inner awakening, and philosophical insights. What you see is not reality, it's just a version of it, filtered by your mind. Since the day you were born, your perception has been shaped by your family, your school, and society. They told you what was right and wrong, what was possible and impossible, what you should fear, what you should desire, and you believed it. Not because you were convinced, but because you never questioned it. And that's the great trick. No one ever taught you to question reality itself. So now I ask you, what if everything you believe is just a reflection of the stories you've been told? What if the world around you isn't something fixed, but a projection of what you expect to see? Neuroscience proves this. Your brain doesn't record reality like a camera capturing everything around you. It filters information, selects what it considers important, and ignores the rest. But important? Based on what? On what you believe. Have you ever decided to buy a red car and suddenly seen red cars everywhere? The world didn't change, your perception did. Those cars were always there, but your mind ignored them. Now, it highlights them because they've become relevant to you. This doesn't just happen with cars, it happens with everything in your life. If you believe the world is cruel, your mind filters out anything that contradicts that belief and focuses only on betrayals, injustices, and hardships. If you believe money is hard to make, your perception blocks out opportunities for prosperity and only sees obstacles. Neville Goddard said, "What you accept as true about yourself manifests in the outer world. Not because it's a wish, but because your mind is constantly looking for evidence to reinforce what you already believe." Now think about the impact of that. If your mind is programmed for failure, your reality will reflect failure. If it's programmed for scarcity, everything around you will validate the idea that there's never enough. Not because reality is actually that way, but because you've been trained to see it that way. And what happens when someone lives like this for too long? They start to believe their external reality is unchangeable, that their life is hard because it's always been this way. But the truth is, the external world is only reflecting what already exists within them. If you want to change your life, you need to change the way you see the world. You need to reprogram your perception. You need to question every certainty you hold, because if your life is a mirror of your consciousness, then the right question isn't, why is my reality like this? But rather, why do I believe my reality is like this? And when you start questioning, the veil begins to fall. I am the last key to reality creation. What if I told you there's a word that can shape your reality? A word so powerful that it's been repeated by spiritual masters, occultists, philosophers, and even scientists throughout history. I am. You're not trapped in the reality you live in. You're trapped in the idea you have about yourself. Everything that exists in your life right now, your achievements, your struggles, your relationships, your financial situation, isn't random. It's the exact reflection of how you see yourself. And if you want to change that reality, trying to modify the outside world won't work. You need to change who you believe you are. That's exactly what Neville Goddard tried to explain to the world. In the Bible, God told Moses, "I am that I am." But what does that really mean? Most people interpret this phrase as a statement of identity, as if God was simply affirming his existence. But Neville revealed something much deeper. I am isn't just a name, it's the key to manifesting anything in reality. That's because I am doesn't describe something fixed. It's an energy, a vibrational state. It doesn't just represent who you are now, it represents who you can become. When you say I am, you're activating a creative force within you. But here's the problem. Most people use this key unconsciously. They say, I am anxious, I am unlucky, I am bad at this, I am unworthy, and without realizing it, they reinforce that identity every single day. Not because they want to, but because they've been programmed to believe that's their reality. Now think about this. What if you replace those statements with something different? What if, instead of I am insecure, you started affirming I am confident? Instead of I am broke, you said I am prosperous. Instead of I am rejected, you repeated I am loved. Your mind's first reaction might be resistance. It might feel like a lie. But that's only because your brain is still wired to old patterns. And that's where science comes in. Neuroscience has already proven that the brain is plastic. That means it can be reshaped and reprogrammed throughout life. Every thought you have fires a network of neurons. The more you repeat an idea, the stronger that connection becomes. Over time, your brain adopts this new identity as reality and starts acting accordingly. This means your mind literally reorganizes itself to validate your new self-image. And what happens when your self-image changes? Everything changes. Because reality isn't punishing or rewarding you, it's simply reflecting what you believe yourself to be. Reality is a mirror of your self-image. And to illustrate this, I'm going to share a story with you. There was a little eagle that was born at the top of a mountain, but by accident, its egg rolled down and ended up in a valley, right in the middle of a chicken coop. As soon as it hatched, it was raised among the chickens. It pecked at the ground, ate corn, and flapped its wings without ever leaving the ground. It looked up at the sky and saw eagles soaring majestically, gliding through the clouds with complete freedom. Something inside its heart felt strange, but whenever it thought about flying, the chickens laughed at it. "Stop dreaming, you're just a chicken," they said. And over time, it believed them. Even though it was born with wings strong enough to fly over mountains, it never even tried because it was taught to believe it couldn't. Until one day, a traveler passed through the valley and saw something absurd: an eagle living like a chicken. He picked up the young eagle, took it to a cliff, and said, "You weren't born to walk, you were born to fly." But the eagle hesitated, saying, "I'm just a chicken, I can't fly." The traveler insisted, "You only believe that because it's what you've always been told. But the truth isn't in what others say, it's in what you accept for yourself." He lifted the eagle and threw it into the wind. At first, the eagle panicked, flapping its wings clumsily, thinking it was going to fall. But then, something inside it woke up. Its body remembered how to fly, and for the first time, it spread its wings and felt the wind carry it. It was never a chicken. It never had been. It had just believed that for too long. And now, tell me, how many times have you lived like a chicken when in reality, you were born to fly? The story may seem simple, but it carries a deep secret. You have become what you were taught to be. If they told you that you weren't good enough, you believed it. If they told you money was hard to come by, you accepted it. If they told you that you weren't capable, you took on that identity without questioning it. But what if all of that was just conditioning? What if, in reality, you were so much more than what they made you believe? Because here's the truth. The I am you declare defines your life. And if you're still living on the ground, maybe it's because someone convinced you that you can't fly. The secret of ancient spiritual traditions is that since ancient times, those who truly understood the nature of reality have left clues, fragments of deep knowledge, scattered across different cultures and eras, all pointing to the same truth. The world you see is not solid, fixed, or unchangeable. It's a projection of your consciousness. But this truth wasn't just forgotten. It was hidden. Because a world where people know they are the creators of their own reality cannot be controlled. What happens when someone realizes they've always had the power to change their life? That they don't need intermediaries, permissions, or external validation? The system collapses. That's why, throughout history, this knowledge has been distorted, discredited, and ridiculed. But it has always been available to those who were ready to see it. In ancient Egypt, initiates of the Hermetic temples already taught this principle. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This means that everything that exists in the material world was first and foremost a thought. The chair you're sitting on, the city you live in, the technology you use every day. It all started as an idea, a mental image. What the ancients were saying is that this doesn't apply only to objects, but to the very structure of reality itself. Buddhism taught the same principle in a different way. Suffering doesn't come from the external world, but from the mind that clings to it. Think about it. Two men can lose their jobs on the same day. One falls into despair, believing his life is over. The other sees an opportunity to start fresh, to explore something new. What changed? The event? No. The perception changed, and perception shapes experience. In the Vedic scriptures of India, there's a phrase, Tat Tvamasi, you are that. But what does that mean? It means there is no separation between you and the universe. The consciousness that moves galaxies, that makes a tree grow effortlessly, that keeps planets in orbit, it's the same consciousness that exists within you. The problem is, you were taught to believe you're small. Since childhood, you were told that life is hard, that you have to struggle to get what you want, that there is a God separate from you who can punish or reward you. But what if the truth is the exact opposite? What if you've always had the power to create your reality, but were conditioned to believe you didn't? Now think about how this affects your life. Why do some people seem to manifest wealth, health, and opportunities effortlessly, while others work tirelessly and never move forward? It's not just about external actions, it's about internal programming. If someone grows up hearing that money is scarce, that wealth is only for a few, that life is a struggle, that belief becomes a subconscious truth. They don't seek opportunities. They don't see possibilities because they're programmed to validate scarcity. But someone who grows up hearing that opportunities are everywhere, that money is a neutral tool, that the universe is abundant, will develop an entirely different internal system. Now look at your own life. What do you believe to be true about yourself? Because that is the only thing truly shaping your reality. And if the ancients knew this, why was this truth hidden? Simple, because people who understand their power cannot be controlled. But if all of this is true, if the ancients already knew that consciousness shapes reality, why did it take so long for science to recognize it? The truth is, for centuries, science believed the universe was a predictable machine governed by fixed and unchanging laws. But then, quantum physics came along, and everything changed. The very foundations of reality were questioned. Matter, which was once seen as something solid and independent, turned out to be something much more mysterious. Subatomic particles, the fundamental building blocks of existence, don't behave in a fixed way. They exist in a state of possibility until they are observed. And this is where science finally catches up with what spiritual masters have always said. Consciousness influences reality. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle showed that the simple act of observing alters the behavior of particles. This means that matter isn't defined until it is perceived. Wave function collapse, one of the most intriguing concepts in quantum physics, suggests that the external world doesn't organize itself until there is a consciousness interacting with it. Now, think about that. If the universe responds to observation, if matter isn't fixed but rather an ocean of possibilities waiting to be shaped by consciousness, what does that mean for your life? It means that whatever you focus your attention on has the power to materialize. Imagine you're a film director and your mind is the screenwriter. Every thought, every belief, every emotion is writing the next scene of your life. What's being projected on the screen? If your mind constantly repeats that life is hard, that you're unlucky, that things never work out for you, then that's the script that will play out before your eyes. But if you start seeing yourself as the creator, if you take control of what you project internally, the movie changes. Because the external reality can only reflect what already exists within you. But here's the big problem. You've been conditioned to feel small. Since the moment you were born, your mind has been programmed to believe in insurmountable limits. School taught you that there's a right path to follow. Society told you that some people are born to win, while others are born to lose. Your family often reinforced beliefs of scarcity, fear, and limitation. And without realizing it, you accepted these truths as absolute. Your brain, an incredible machine capable of adapting and transforming, was molded to fit within this programming. If, as a child, you constantly heard that money is hard to earn, your subconscious took that as fact. If you grew up seeing relationships fall apart, you may have developed the belief that love always ends in pain. If you were told that you have to work hard to be someone in life, you might be stuck in an endless cycle of effort, not realizing that true power isn't just in hard work. It's in mindset. But here's the key. Neuroscience has already proven that the brain can be reprogrammed. That means all these beliefs you carry aren't fixed. They were learned, and anything that was learned can be unlearned. The problem isn't that the world is difficult, that opportunities are scarce, or that you weren't born lucky. The problem is the programming you were taught to accept as truth. The awakening process is rewriting your identity. If your brain can be reprogrammed, then the next question is, how do you rewrite your identity? Neville Goddard gave the answer in a simple yet profound way. Feel yourself now as the person you wish to be. This isn't just motivational advice, it's a fundamental principle of reality creation. The brain doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. If you close your eyes and see yourself in your desired reality, truly experiencing the emotions, your brain fires the same neural circuits as if it were actually happening. And here's the most important part. Your external reality will always adjust to match your internal identity. If you desire abundance but internally still feel trapped in scarcity, no matter how hard you try, your vibration is still misaligned with what you want. But when you start feeling prosperous before prosperity manifests, your mind reconnects to that frequency and reorganizes your reality to reflect this new identity. Olympic athletes have been using this technique for decades. Studies show that when they mentally rehearse their performances, their brains activate the same neural areas as if they were actually competing. Now think about that. If simply visualizing a workout can strengthen muscles and enhance physical performance, imagine what this can do for your life. So apply this now. Close your eyes and ask yourself, how would I feel if I were already living my dream life? How would I speak, walk? What would my posture be like? What kind of conversations would I have? How would I express myself? Now embody that energy in the present. Because if you're waiting for something external to change before allowing yourself to feel different, you'll be postponing your transformation forever. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. And this brings us to one of the most powerful principles of manifestation. The language of the universe isn't words, it's vibration. Have you ever noticed that when you're having a bad day, everything seems to go wrong? And when you're in a state of joy and confidence, everything flows effortlessly? That's not a coincidence. That's vibrational frequency in action. The Bible says, "Ask and it shall be given." But the real secret of this phrase isn't just in asking, it's in aligning with the vibration of what you want. If you say, "I want abundance," but your internal emotion is fear and lack, the universe doesn't respond to your verbal request. It responds to your vibration, and your vibration is still saying scarcity. Now, here's an experiment so you can feel this in practice. Spend an entire day pretending you already have everything you desire. Act as if you are already the person you want to become. Notice how your energy shifts. Pay attention to how people around you react differently, because this is the principle of vibration resonance. You don't have to wait to become. You have to be now so the universe can respond. And when you truly understand this, you'll realize it was never about wanting. It was always about becoming. How to apply Neville Goddard's technique to reprogram your mind. Now that you understand how reality responds to your vibration, here's the most important question. How do you apply this in a practical way? Neville Goddard taught a simple yet incredibly powerful method to reprogram the mind and shape reality. He called it the state of the wish fulfilled. The secret is to trick your subconscious into accepting a new state as truth. And the best time to do this is right before you fall asleep. Why? Because in the moments just before sleep, the conscious mind relaxes and the door to the subconscious opens. This is the ideal time to plant new beliefs. Here's how you can apply this technique step by step. Start by lying down in a deeply relaxed state. Take slow, deep breaths and let go of any tension from your day. Your body needs to feel completely relaxed. Now, Imagine a simple yet vivid scene that represents your desire already being fulfilled. It should be something meaningful to you, but not overly complex. If you're aiming for prosperity, picture yourself holding a check or hearing someone congratulate you on your success. If you're seeking a loving relationship, visualize sharing a tender moment with your ideal partner. Fully immerse yourself in that scene. Don't just watch it like a movie. Feel it as if it's happening right now. What emotions arise? What sounds do you hear? What is it like to be there in that moment? Amplify the emotions. Emotion is the key. Without feeling, simply visualizing won't reprogram your mind. You must cultivate feelings of joy, gratitude, and certainty that it's already yours. Make this practice a nightly habit. Continue doing this until your mind accepts this new reality as truth. The more you repeat, the faster this image will be ingrained into your subconscious. Sounds too simple to be true? Neville Goddard used this very method to escape from a military camp and return home, even when it seemed impossible. He vividly imagined himself at home, feeling his bed, hearing the familiar sounds around him. After just 9 days of this practice, he unexpectedly received his discharge and was sent home. Now it's time to apply this to your life. Choose a desire, create your scene, and feel as if you're already there. Then, things will begin to shift. However, we're now at a crucial crossroads. Knowing this secret leaves you with two choices. Either ignore this knowledge and continue living the same life, repeating the same thoughts, fears, and stories, telling yourself that life is hard, change is impossible, and your destiny is out of your control. Or, you can choose to apply it and completely transform your reality. The choice may seem obvious, but here's the truth. Most people choose the first option. Why? Because change requires more than just knowing. It demands action, consistency, and commitment. Knowledge alone doesn't do anything. It's an application that brings transformation. So before we finish, try this right now. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Now, picture yourself as whole, prosperous, fulfilled, and worthy. Don't focus on how it will happen. Just feel as though it's already real. If your body reacts, if you feel something shift, even for just a moment, then you've just taken the first step in reprogramming your mind. Now, the decision is yours. Expand or repeat. The world is already waiting for your choice. Reality is a mirror of your consciousness. What you believe yourself to be is shaping your life right now. Do you believe in this? Share your thoughts in the comments so we can know. Thank you for watching. If you learned something from this video, please subscribe to the Top Hidden Knowledge channel for more content on wisdom, spirituality, and personal growth. Or if you have time, check out other videos on this channel. Until next time.